Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Jamuna Tiravanachari Yashodanandana Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Jai Om Vishnupada Paramhamsa Parivrajaka Acharya Ashtottar Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naran Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Good morning. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 4, chapter entitled The Appearance of Sri Narada, text number 3. Kasmin yuge pravritteyam sthaneva kena hetuna kuto sanchodita Krishnaha kritavan samhitam muni. Kasmin yuge pravritteyam sthaneva kena hetuna kuto sanchodita Krishna kritavan samhitam muni. Kasmin yuge pravritteyam sthaneva kena hetuna kuta sanjodita Krishna Kitvan samhitam muni. Please recite.
Kasmin yuge pravritteyam Sadeva kena hetuna Utah sanchodita Krishna Kritavan samhitam muni.
Word to word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Kasmin, in which Yuge period Pravritta was begun. Yam, this. Sthane, in the place. Va, or. Kena, on what. Hetuna, ground. Kutaha, where from. Sanchodita, inspired by. Krishna, Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa, Kritavan, compiled, Samhitam, Vedic literature, Muni, the learned. Translation: in what period and at what place was this first begun? And why was this taken up? From where did Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa, the great sage, get the inspiration to compile the literature? Purport: because Srimad Bhagavatam is the special contribution of Srila Vyasadeva, there are so many inquiries by the learned Shaunaka Muni. It was known to them that Srila Vyasadeva had already explained the text of the Vedas in various ways up to the Mahabharata for the understanding of less intelligent women, Shudras, and fallen members of the family of twice born men. Srimad Bhagavatam is transcendental to all of them because it has nothing to do with anything mundane. So the inquiries are very intelligent and relevant. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaiham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahakana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalitan Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shri Mate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shandabadi Pashat Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I seek blessings from all the assembled Vaishnavas so I can speak something on this very beautiful verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this verse is a verse of question. In what period and at what place was this first begun? And why was it taken up? From where did Krishna, Dvaipa and Vyas, the great sage, get the inspiration to compile this literature? So this is another very major turning point of Srimad Bhagavatam. The sixth question that the sages of Naimisharanya had asked, Sutta Goswami has already replied to those questions. So technically speaking, Bhagavatam is over. But now Sutta Goswami ended the last question that where has Dharma taken shelter? So to that answer, Sutta Goswami replied that Dharma has taken shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, in continuation to that question, the sages of Naimisharanya, heeded by Shaunaka Muni, they have asked this question, which contains like few questions. Kasmin, Kena, Kutaha, this kind of question they are asking. And in this reply, now Sutta Goswami is going to give more elaboration of Bhagavatam. Basically, spiritual subject matter is revealed based on the eagerness of the devotee who is listening. So, one very important thing that spiritual subject matter has is like questions. So, unless and until there are relevant questions, till that time the subject matter of Bhagavatam doesn't get revealed. One point of time in one lecture, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Guru Maharaj was telling that two kind of people do not have question. One who is completely realized and one who has not understood anything. And in between, everybody has question. And Guru Maharaj was quoting Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada was giving a lecture. And after the lecture, Srila Prabhupada asked, any question? So no devotees were asking any question. So then Srila Prabhupada said that no question means you have completely grasped the subject matter. This is one possibility. And the second possibility is you all did not get anything from the lecture. You all could not understand only. So that is the reason no question is there. And in the middle, like those who have not understood it fully, and those who have not understand, like those who have understood it fully, like have not and have. In the middle, whoever is there, they have questions. But these questions, what Sutta Goswami is getting from Shaunakadi rishis, these are just not questions. Basically, these are pariprashna. Pariprashna. So these are not prashna, but these are pariprashna. And these pariprashnas are very, very important. And pariprashnas have after effect. Like the pariprashna of Arjun gave Bhagavad Gita. The Pariprashna of Parikshit Maharaj gave Srimad Bhagavatam. Or the Pariprashna of Vyasdev, we can say it in that way. It through that Narad Muni revealed Srimad Bhagavatam to Vyasdev. So here the sages are asking in which yuga this was spoken. Where was it spoken? In which place? Because the place is also very, very important. For what reason? What is the reason that this Bhagavatam came up? And who inspired? Like whose inspiration Bhagavatam was only spoken, and some here and there motivational talk or some other Puranas or other Vedic scriptures or some Samhitas were not spoken. So who is the inspiration? Who is giving such pure inspiration that Bhagavatam is coming as reply? So this is very important. Few days back, one person was asking me about various philosophers, Western philosophers and Indian philosophers as well. And he was asking that many of the philosophers say this, many of the philosophers say that. So what's your take on this? So when I heard all these names, this all seemed to be to me like completely alien. I did not know any of this name. So I told this person actually that you see I do not know this people, this philosopher. But one thing I can say that our these philosophers in Sanskrit they are called darshanik or one whose presents the darshan. So we are the followers of Acharyas and we are not the followers of Darshaniks, the philosophers. And what is the difference between Acharyas and Darshanik, the philosophers? The difference is Acharyas are like the HODs of any particular department. They have the complete grasp of the whole subject matter and they can present things with authority. Like whatever the HOD says, okay, you write this answer to this question, then whenever the student write that answer to that question he's supposed to get marks because that is the norm given by the HOD. But these philosophers are like some meritorious student or some out of box thinkers, so they can speak things nicely, they can speak things efficiently, but they are not the authorities. So that is the reason we are Acharya Panthis, not Darshanik Panthis, right? That is the reason questions are less important, rather Pariprashna is more important. Now, what is the difference between Pariprashna and Prashna? Prashna is Prashna can be at times meaningless also. Like we can see many kids also asks many meaningless questions. Why my like few days back one kid here in temple he was asking, my shikha is big, your shikha is small. Why is it so? So there are going to be many questions like this. He was asking there are many cows. One is why this one is fat, why the other one is thin. So there is also a question. So there can be meaningless question. There can be meaningful question also. But pariprashna is such question which makes the like questioner, the one who is asking question, when he gets the reply, with that reply he can transcend the material world. That is the reason these questions are important, and that is the reason the answers to these questions are also extremely important. That is the reason this question answers are used as scriptures, they are given as scriptures. Now, Vyasdev, one very amazing thing about this Bhagavatam is that we can see that Vyasdev is the compiler of Bhagavatam, but Vyasdev is revealing Srimad Bhagavatam through Parikshit Maharaj. And Vyasdev is portraying Srimad Bhagavatam in that way so that it may seem to the reader that okay, Parikshit Maharaj is only the important person. He is giving all the spotlights to Sukhdev Goswami, not Parikshit Maharaj. He is giving all the spotlight to Sukhdev Goswami. He is speaking Bhagavatam through Sukhdev Goswami. The reason is this Bhagavatam is Amala Purana and it is spoken by an Amala Vyakti, right? So the speaker and the subject matter both are very, very important because Prashna can be replied by anyone and everyone, but Pariprashna has to be replied by somebody who is purified in heart and practices. So Sukhdev Goswami, Suta Goswami, these personalities, they were just like that. So in this world, we hear that there are many different kind of person with many different kind of enquiries, but the one who is going through Bhagavatam, he gets the intelligence to know what is what. So Bhagavatam is just not kalpataru, but Bhagavatam is nigama kalpataru. That is how it is spoken, nigama kalpataru galitam phalam. So, what is the difference between Kalpataru and Nigama Kalpataru? Kalpataru means one which can give that which is desired. But Nigama Kalpataru is that Kalpataru which gives us something by which we can go out of this material world. Nigama. It shows us a way out of this material world. Or Gama means to fall down. So this Kalpataru saves us from falling down. So that is the speciality of Bhagavatam, that Bhagavatam is educating its readers to what, so that the readers know what to ask, what to aspire for. So Bhakti Swami Guru Maharaj was once telling about a person who was reading Bhagavatam. And when he was reading Bhagavatam, suddenly this few heavenly beings came to him. And they said, please come to us, come with us. You have your position ready in heavenly planet. You please take this position. This is a chariot, board the chariot, we'll take you there. So then this person asked that, okay, wait, what is heaven? First explain me that. Because this person was reading Bhagavatam, and Bhagavatam, naturally we don't get much description of heaven. So he asked question, what is heaven? So he asked this. Then he asked, is it permanent or temporary? He asked this two questions. And then he was about to ask the third question, but the beings of the heavenly planet just stopped him. They said, wait, let us answer these two questions first. So then they said, heaven is a place where you get many different kind of sense gratification. There are beautiful trees, beautiful gardens, beautiful lanes, beautiful birds, heavenly damsels, demigods, nice music going on, very nice foodstuffs, somras, everything is so alluring, and you'll get full enjoyment. So now you have asked, is this permanent? So to answer this, we'll say, no, this is not permanent. You can just be there till the time your piety, the effect of piety is there with you. Once it is over, you will again come down to this world. So that is the reason this heavenly planet is not permanent, but it is very pleasurable. So then the person said, so now let me ask all of you the third question. They said, yes, please now ask the third question. Then he said that, okay, you said this is heaven is not permanent, and you all seem to be like very, very intelligent fellows. You all seem to be like, you all are effulgent. You do not look like, the weary faces of this world, or you do not look like poverty stricken. You look like that you are accomplished and you have some great understanding and realization. So, can you indicate me to some place? Like after going to that place, I do not have to return, because I may go with you and enjoy there, but I have to return. So then it will be a bigger misery for me. Like in summers, I have usually experienced, like when I go somewhere in some devotee's home or in some devotee's car, there is AC. But once we come back to our room, it's non-AC. So previously the heat was not that much perceivable, but now the heat seems like it's pricking, right? Because there is a sharp distinction of the atmosphere. So this person said, when I'll get accustomed to that heavenly pleasure and then I'll come back to this miserable place, it's very painful. So can you all indicate me to some place which is permanent? Then they said, yes, that is spiritual world. So you continue reading Srimad Bhagavatam. You will get towards that place. So that is the reason there are, with questions, we can understand what is the level of intellect of a particular person. Like a normal person may ask, okay, how I can be happy today? A kind of intelligent person can ask, how will I be happy in my whole lifetime? What I should do so that my whole life is fulfilling? Then a furthermore intelligent person asks, how I can get happiness beyond this life as well, right? And then the most intelligent person asks, where can I get permanent happiness? This is his quest. And These sages of Naimisharanya, they are so elevated. They are not asking permanent happiness for themselves, rather, they are asking permanent happiness for others. That is the whole reason of their subject matter. That is the reason they were amazed, like when Sutta Goswami said that Sukdev Goswami spoke this Bhagavatam at a stretch of some couple of days. They were amazed because they have heard that Sukdev Goswami only stays in some place till the time the cow is milked. After that, he leaves. So, what was the special prerogative that Sukdev Goswami stayed back? That was their interest. That is the reason this Bhagavatam is revealed to those who have the desire of Loka Hita Karinam. That is the reason this Bhagavatam goes to the maximum extent of Hare Krishna. This Bhagavatam goes to the maximum extent where the compassion of heart is revealed. So, Brahmaji, when he appeared from that lotus which came out from the navel of Garbhodakshai Vishnu, he was in ignorance. He could not know where he is, who he was. He also had question, but he had no one to ask this question. On the contrary, here we can see the sages of Naimisharanya, they have the personality sitting in front of them whom they can ask question. So to get somebody in front is such a rare achievement that Brahmaji felt. But to all of us, we have that and we do not value that. So Brahmaji, with his own life, he has actually shown that what is the meaning of asking question when you have a right personality in front of you. He didn't had that. He was, kind of hovering in darkness. And suddenly, Krishna revealed in his heart, Tapa, Tapa, Tapa. He heard this. And he started meditating in that darkness. And in that pitch darkness, he heard the sound of Krishna's flute. And that sound was perceived as the Omkar mantra. Now this Omkar is a combination of three letters, A, U and Ma. So Jiva Goswami, in his Sandarbhas, he has written, this A, U and Ma are very significant. This A is Akarono Chate Krishna Sarva Lokaika Nathakam Ukarono Chate Radha Makaro Jiva Bachaka. Jiva Goswami said that this Omkar is a complete representation of the spiritual world. This A represent Krishna. This U represent Shrimati Radharani and the Ma represent all the living entities. So when Brahmaji got this Omkar, this seed, from this seed, he got the whole Gayatri Mantra revealed in his heart. And when he took shelter of this Gayatri Mantra, then the whole spiritual world was revealed in front of him. And there is an amazing description now that when the spiritual world was revealed to him, that is the time he could also see Garbhodakshai Vishnu, that is the time he could also see himself, that is the time he could also see the lotus in which he is standing. He could also see the stalk of the lotus, which he later dissected to create the 14 planetary system. So when the spiritual world is revealed, that is the time he could understand the swarup of this material world. So this is a speciality of the revelation of this spiritual reality. Many times people consider that, okay, let me first experience the things of this material world. Let me have my things done in this world and then I'll prioritize for my spiritual life. But the moment we get spiritual revelation, the moment we advance spiritually, that is the time we can also very nicely advance in material life as well. Kind of it can be said that our requirements will be very nicely fulfilled in a way that we do not get attached to it. So there was one devotee whose so he was a South Indian devotee and he was staying very close to the Guruvayur Mandir. His name was Pundanam, and this devotee was very poor, very poverty, very much poverty stricken. And that too, he does not have a kid, a son. So his wife was very miserable. She does not have money, does not have a child. So she was not getting any impetus to continue the Grihastha ashram. So then the wife told Pundanam that please get me a son, please get me some money, please go to Lord Supreme Personality of Godhead in Guruvayur, please go to the Lord and seek one son. And Pundanam thought that why to waste time to go to Lord and ask for something material like children, money, why to do like this? On the contrary, let me just read Srimad Bhagavatam only and let me be happy by reading Srimad Bhagavatam. And if Krishna has to give me a child, Krishna will naturally give me the child. He thought like this. And with that conviction, he was actually taking shelter of Bhagavatam. Now, his wife suddenly got, conceived a child. And then he realized that, oh, this is the effect of Srimad Bhagavatam. So his wife was also very happy that she got a child. So now everyone in the family was happy. And after the wife gave birth to this child immediately died. So this was another very big misery that this person went through. So now everyone was crying, everyone was yelling, everyone was like more miserable. Now Pundanam also started contemplating that what is this? Till the time, no son was there, I was okay. But now son took birth and he died. So this is bigger misery. So he was also little unhappy. He was also shedding tears. So, and he was like, he felt so much of pain that he could not sleep at night. So at night, when he was just lying down in his bed and he was shedding tears, then suddenly Krishna came to him as a small child, a small little boy. And Krishna told him, get up, get up. And he got up. And Krishna told him that, see, I have come as a small child, so grab me by your two hands. So he grabbed him by his two hands. Then Krishna said, make me sit on your lap. So he made Krishna sit on his lap. And then Krishna started caressing his cheeks and his hand. And then Krishna said, why are you crying? Then Pundanam said, you gave me a son, you took it away. I never asked for it. Now you gave me a son and gave me bigger miseries. Now in my whole family they are also so upset. Previously the situation was manageable, but now it's not manageable anymore. So then Krishna said, why to worry? See, I am your son. Whenever you want a small child to care, a small child to love, you call me and I'll be there. And so Pundanam was very happy. And whenever he was craving for a child, Krishna was coming to him and then Krishna was leaving. And so now he was reading Srimad Bhagavatam with greater enthusiasm, with greater inspiration, and he was absorbed day and night in Srimad Bhagavatam. And when this happened, then the family members started becoming very antagonistic to him. They started considering, what is this person? He is so heartless. But here he could not reveal that what has happened, right? He could not reveal that. So in family, whenever he was speaking the word even B or Ba for Bhagavatam, then they was shouting like anything. But he could not give up his Bhagavatam reading. So then what he did, he went out of his home and he went to a beautiful garden and he sat in the garden and there were two banyan trees on either side of him. And he was sitting between them and he was reading Bhagavatam. And he kept reading Bhagavatam throughout the whole day. After reading for few days, suddenly he saw that the two banyan tree has fallen down. Not banyan tree actually, they were plantain, kela, banana tree, right? Two banana tree has fallen down, and from those two trees, two personalities came out, and they, with folded hands, offered their gratitudes to Pundanam, and they said that we both were cursed to become trees, and now because you read Bhagavatam incessantly in front of us, we got revealed from the curse. So in that way, Bhagavatam is extremely auspicious in every way. Bhagavatam is like Kalpavriksha, as it is mentioned. So there are various Bhagavat Parampara in which Bhagavatam is spoken. As we know, Brahmaji gave this Chatushloki Bhagavatam to Narad Muni. Narad gave it to Vyasa. Vyasadev gave it to Sukdev Goswami. Sukdev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. from Parikshit Maharaj in that assembly, Sutta Goswami heard, Naimisharanya sages, and then further. This is one parampara. There is another parampara where Sankarshan, Ananta Shesh, he speaks Bhagavatam to Sanat Kumar, the eldest of the four Kumaras, the son of Brahmaji. And then Sanat Kumar spoke this Bhagavatam to rest of the three Kumaras, Sanandan, Sanatan, and Sanak. He spoke this to them. Now they four spoke Bhagavatam to Sankhyayan Muni. And Sankhyayan Muni spoke this Bhagavatam to Parashar and Brihaspati. Parashar Muni further spoke this Bhagavatam to Maitreya Muni, and Maitreya Muni spoke this Bhagavatam only to Vidura. When Vidura came to ask him about Krishna, right? So in that way, this is another very beautiful Bhagavatam parampara. Actually, sometimes we think that Bhagavatam, Vyasadev was given by Narad Muni and that is how Bhagavatam was revealed. But this Bhagavatam is actually eternal. Eternally Bhagavatam is going on. Even in Sri Mandir, Jagannath Puri also, there is eternally in one place they are constantly reading Bhagavatam, and there is one small temple that is dedicated to Bhagavatam only. That is a temple of Bhagavat. It is inside the campus of Sri Mandir. Now in Vrindavan also this Bhagavat parampara is there, and that is called Vraja Bhagavat. So this Vraja Bhagavat was spoken by Uddhava to the queens of Dwarka at Kusum Sarovar. And after hearing this Vraja Bhagavat, which is so amazing, there Krishna himself appeared and took away these queens to the spiritual world. In Vrindavan, there was another set of Bhagavat which was going on, and that was heard by Vajranabha Maharaj. Vajranabha Maharaj heard this Bhagavatam, and by hearing this Bhagavatam, actually he got the inspiration to reveal or to excavate the different places of Vraja. And he got so much of revelation by hearing this Bhagavatam that he got the full revelation of Vraja, Vrindavan Dham. And thereby, he carved 16 deities altogether in various places in Sri Vrindavan Dham. In that, he carved out four Dev deities. So, who are these Deva deities? These four deities are Sri Haridev in Giriraj Govardhan. Then he carved out Keshava Dev in Mathura, and then he carved out Baladev at Gokul and Govinda Dev at Vrindavan. So, and after this, he carved out two Natha deities, that is Srinathji, who was later found by Madhavendra Puri, and now he is in this place Nathadwara. And then he carved out Gopinathji, and Gopinath is also now in Jaipur. And then he carved out two Gopal deities he carved out. One is Madan Gopal, who later came to be known as Madan Mohan. So this Madan Gopal was also carved out by Vajranath Maharaj, who was there with this devotee Purushottam Chaube. Actually, he was found out by Advaita Acharya in Advaita Bhatt. Like Madan Gopal came to him. So Advaita Acharya gave this deity to Purushottam Chaube, and he was worshipping this deity. And he was treating Madan Gopal like a small child in his home only. He would treat one of his son. Come, sit here and eat. If you don't eat, I'll beat you with stick. So this was his Vatsalya dealings with Madan Gopal. And then Sanatan Goswami came, and then Sanatan Goswami got the worship of Madan Gopal. And another Gopal deity whom Vajranath Maharaj carved was Sakshi Gopal, who is now located in Jagannath Puri, near Jagannath Puri in Sakshi Gopal village. So these are the two Gopal deities that he got. And then Vajranath Maharaj carved four Mahadev deities. These are Chakleshwar Mahadev or Chakreshwar Mahadev in Govardhan, Kameshwar Mahadev at Kamyavan, Bhuteshwar Mahadev at Mathura, and Gopishwar Mahadev at Vrindavan. And then he also carved four deities, goddess of like internal potency, Yogamaya Devi, and they are the Manasi Devi located in Govardhan near Chakreshwar Mahadev. Manasi Devi is there. And then he carved the deities of Vrinda Devi, who is in Kamyavan, Patala Devi in Mathura. And Actually, this is a Patal Devi where Jeev Goswami was staying, in that hole where Jeev Goswami was staying. Now they worship Patala Devi in there, in Mathura. And Yogamaya Devi at Vrindavan, Purnamasi, the one which is near Radha Govinda Dev, Govindaji Mandir. So these are the deities. And all these deities were from the inspiration of Bhagavatam that Bhajana Maharaj revealed. And out of all these three deities, the most celebrated three deities are Govinda, Gopinath, Madan Mohan, right? Which completely resembled Krishna. Uttara, who has seen Krishna, when she came to authorize the deities, then she said that the lotus feet of Madan Mohan is exactly like that of Krishna. The chest and the shoulders are exactly like the Govinda Devji, and the lotus face, the smiling lotus face of Krishna is like the Gopinath deity. So this is Vraja Bhagavat, one of the Vraja Bhagavat versions. So this Bhagavatam is also spoken in Navadvip, that is called Gaura Bhagavat. And this Gaura Bhagavat comes to us in the form of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, which is given by Vyasdev only. Vyasdev has come as Vrindavan Das Thakur. And repeatedly in Chaitanya Bhagavat, very mystically, Vrindavan Das Thakur has written this multiple times. He said Vyasdev will again come later and he will very elaborately describe the pastime of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I am just writing in short form. He is writing this. So, what is going to come, we don't know, but Vrindavan Das Thakur has repeatedly written this. And referring Vrindavan Das Thakur as an expansion of Vyasdev, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami gave Sri Chaitanya Charitamrit. So this Gaur Bhagavat is also there. Even in Gaur Mandal Bhumi, Bhagavatam is happening in Navadvip Dham. And that Bhagavatam is done by Suta Goswami again. That there is one Naimisharanya in Navadvip Dham. In Navadvip Mandal Parikrama, this Naimisharanya also comes. This is near to Belpukur. Their Naimisharanya is there. So there Suta Goswami was speaking Bhagavatam, and when Shivji got to know about Bhagavatam, he came rushing towards this, kind of this Bhagavatam class. But somehow his Nandi was little slow, so he requested Brahmaji for his swan carrier. So he rides on swan and gets down here, and thereby the temple of Hamsavahan Shivji is there. So this very beautiful deity of Hamsa Vahan is there, which previously they thought that it is a fountain. And that's how Hamsa Vahan has a hole. So they thought it's fountain. But later Acharyas reveal, no, this is not fountain, this is Shivji. There is swan in front and Hamsa Vahan Shivji Shila at the back. So Srila Japa Swami Guru Maharaj says that whenever we get the darshan of Hamsa Vahan Shivji, we should know that this Hamsa Vahan, we should see the eagerness of Shivji, that how eager he was to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. So in that way, this pastime is also going on. Basically, this Bhagavatam, Acharyas compare this Bhagavatam to be like a very beautiful garland. And the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam are like flowers. So these are flowers, and garland needs a thread. So the eagerness of the devotees are basically the thread of Bhagavatam, and the taste to hear Bhagavatam is basically the thread of this garland, and the eagerness of the audience keeps the Bhagavatam fresh. Otherwise, Bhagavatam will just not percolate inside. Like I was hearing a nice lecture in that it was spoken that there are few kind of hearing deficiency. And this is compared to a bucket and water. Like when you put bucket rightly beneath a tap, then the bucket can get filled with water. But there can be 5 situations. 1, when the bucket is upside down. Second, when there are holes in the bucket. Third is when the bucket is already full with some other thing. Fourth is when the bucket is half filled with dirty water. And the fifth is when the bucket is not properly placed. So these are the 5 situations. So this can be equated with deficiency in hearing, like upside down bucket. This is like when maybe we are sitting in Bhagavatam but we are not attentive to Bhagavatam. So this is like being upside down bucket. So nothing is going inside. Holes in bucket is Like we are just hearing from one ear and it is going out from the other ear. So it's like holes in the bucket. And bucket full with water. This means we have so much of other priorities in life that Bhagavatam is not a priority. And the fourth is dirty water in bucket. That means so much of material desire is there in the heart. Maybe Bhagavatam is also hearing and we are hearing and so much of other things. Some mundane music, mundane talks, mundane literatures, those are also going. So that is the reason the purity of Bhagavatam is not perceived in that situation. And bucket not properly placed, that means we are not hearing from a right source. So these are the few Bhagavatam hearing deficiencies that can be considered. And why it has to be considered? Because the whole Bhagavatam is very, very precious. It is mentioned that by Narad Muni in Padma Puran that Janmante Krite Punna Tad Bhagavatam Labhante. That it is so rare to come across Bhagavatam, to get a set of Bhagavatam or to get the opportunity to hear Bhagavatam, but it is so easily available for all of us. Like Bhagavatam is easily available. The book is available. Even in phone also Bhagavatam is available. Just by a click Bhagavatam will open. So who has done this? This has been done by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada made Bhagavatam available to us. And because of this reason, actually Bhagavatam is very difficult to understand because it is Paramhamsa Samhita. It is on a different level only. I have heard from many devotees that they have started reading Bhagavatam but they stopped reading Bhagavatam because they could not perceive. But Prabhupada made Bhagavatam so easily available with such wonderful Bhaktivedanta purports that Bhagavatam seemed to be like so relevant even to all those who are not Paramhansa, like so mundane. Mundane people can also feel Bhagavatam relatable. So that is what which is very, very attractive a feature of Krishna conscious society, that they present Bhagavatam in a very relatable way. Otherwise, which is very far flung, like very, very inaccessible, right? And then it is mentioned what Bhagavatam can give. Yassa Shravana Matrena Harish Chittam Samashra. Just by hearing, Krishna enters in the heart of a devotee. When the devotee properly hears Bhagavatam. Yassa Shravana Matrena. Just by hearing even little bit Bhagavatam, Harish Chittam Samashrat. Hari enters, Krishna enters in the heart. So Bhagavatam can give us Krishna. Somewhere it is mentioned that if you go to Vrindavan, you may get Krishna, you may not get Krishna. Because Vrindavan, it is Krishna is already present here in unmanifested way to create Vipralamba in the heart of devotee. And who can experience unmanifested form of Krishna? Those who are very, very elevated. For all of us, Vrindavan kind of, like for me, sometimes it is like the nice prasad or the nice places which are scenic beauty. This much only is the relevance of Vrindavan, not that very great significance. It's like felt. But it is mentioned in the pages of Bhagavatam, one is sure to get Krishna. One will definitely get Krishna in the pages of Bhagavatam. It is so nicely mentioned. So that is the reason Bhagavad has many, many paramparas. Bhagavatam has been spoken by many personalities. Even Shivji speaks Bhagavatam in Bhuvaneshwar, Ekamravan to Parvati Devi. And from there only this Sukha pastime happened. This parrot of Srimati Radharani was hearing Bhagavatam. And in that way, Bhagavad Parampara is going on very nicely. So another last thing which I want to mention, it is mention the place of Bhagavatam. So in this regard, now by Prabhupada's mercy, everywhere in the world Bhagavatam is spoken, right? Everywhere Prabhupada has opened Krishna Conscious Society, everywhere Bhagavatam class is going on and everywhere Bhagavatam is happening. So as far as place is concerned, it is everywhere. Specifically, there are three places. Vyasadev compiled Bhagavatam in Badrinath. There Vyasadev compiled this Vyasa Gufa. And because of the potency of Bhagavatam, this place in Vyasa Gufa, there is water is still melted. There is a hot spring there. It is mentioned it is because of the potency of Vyasadev. So Vyasadev gave very varied kind of literature, starting from very, very intellectual literatures like Vedas, up till Itihasas like Mahabharata and all. So Vyasadeva caters everyone. It is like a huge university which can cater every kind of student. So Vyasadeva has done that, but Narad Muni told him, please do something very specific for pure devotional service. So Vyasadeva chose this place of Badrinath, and that is the only place for compiling Srimad Bhagavatam. So that place is a very important one for Bhagavatam. Now Sukdev Goswami spoke Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj at Suktar, this place. Now this place was surcharged with spiritual vibration when Sukdev Goswami started speaking Bhagavatam, and that to so many saintly personalities like Narad Muni, Vyasdev, great sages, they were all sitting there and hearing Bhagavatam. Now that is the place where Parikshit Maharaj decided to end his life in the association of devotees while hearing Hari Katha. So with this focus, Parikshit Maharaj was hearing, and actually he forgot that he has to die after 7 days, how he will die, this, that, all the details he forgot. So Parikshit Maharaj was absorbed, but Takshak was coming in the vesh of a Brahman. And on the way he met with another Brahman, Kashyap. So this Kashyap is not that progenitor Kashyap, it is another small Brahman, but who has got great potency to nullify wish, poison. So they both met. So Takshak asked this Brahman, where are you going? He said, I am going to Suktar. Why are you going? Oh, I heard that Takshak will come and he will kill Parikshit Maharaj, he will like give his poison. So I can nullify any kind of poison. So then Takshak immediately took his form and he said, you do not know what kind of poison Takshak gives. After seeing Takshak also, this Brahman was not perturbed. So then Takshak immediately asked him, so can you enliven this tree if I burn it with my poison? Then this Brahman said, why to speak words when I can act? I can better act. So you burn this tree. So immediately with his poison, Takshak made a whole big banyan tree, burned to ashes. And this Kashyap immediately sprinkled some water and this tree came out fully, like the way it was. So Takshak was amazed. Takshak said, why are you going over there? He said, of course I am going there for some return, and Parikshit Maharaj is a very important king. Takshak said, don't you know that he is hearing Bhagavatam and he's going to get liberated very shortly. Then this Brahman said, but I need money. I need some, nice things. And Parikshit Maharaj will give me nice things if I enliven him. So Takshak said, I am giving you all the things that you want. So Takshak only gave him a lot of wealth and this Brahmana went back. Now Takshak came near the whole Katha arena. But this place was heavily guarded and Bhagavatam was going in full swing. So nobody was allowed any entry. Like there was no security breach. So then Takshak saw that because many saintly persons were present, lot of foodstuffs were going inside. So many fruits were going inside. So Takshak entered as a small insect in the fruit and he entered the arena and again he became a Brahman. And as a Brahman, at the end of the 7 days, he started approaching Parikshit Maharaj and nobody stopped him because he was in the form of a Brahman. And when he reached there, Parikshit Maharaj was already so much in ecstasy that he already transported himself to the spiritual world. Only his body was remaining. And Takshak took his form and casted his poison and Parikshit Maharaj got burnt to flames. So wherever a devotee appears, wherever a devotee lives, and wherever a devotee acts, that place is very, very auspicious. So in that way, this Suktar is very, very auspicious. And the third important place, which is related to Srimad Bhagavatam, is Naimisharanya, where Suta Goswami spoke Bhagavatam. And that is the place which has got Chakra Tirtha. Now Brahmaji has got this Manasa Chakra with which he, controls the entire 14 planetary systems with this Manasa Chakra. But somehow this Manasa Chakra fell in this Naimisharanya. So whatever is happening in Naimisharanya has the potency to control the activities of the whole world. That is the reason the sages chose this place, Naimisharanya, where they wanted to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, so that by the recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam, the entire world will be benefited. So this is another place for Srimad Bhagavatam. And one very, very important place for all the Gauriya Vaishnavas of the seat of Srimad Bhagavatam is the Tota Gopinath Mandir of Jagannath Puri, where every day Gaur Sundar, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would go to hear Bhagavatam from Gadadhar Pandit, and daily he would relish Bhagavatam. Dhruva Charitra, Prahlad Charitra, Dhruva Charitra, Prahlad Charitra. Every day he was relishing Bhagavatam, and Gadadhar Pandit was speaking Bhagavatam. And after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left, Gadadhar Pandit became more absorbed in Bhagavatam, and that's how, with his tears, the Bhagavatam got wiped out. So the Bhagavatam that Gadadhar Pandit had, that was containing the tears of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gadadhar Pandit. And when Srinivas Acharya came to Gadadhar Pandit for initiation, the form of initiation was speaking Bhagavatam. That was the form of initiation. Gadadhar Pandit said, "You get me a new Bhagavatam as my Bhagavatam is wiped out." So by that, Gadadhar Pandit gave Srinivas Acharya Bhagavat Seva. So Bhagavat Seva is a real initiation. Srila Prabhupada took the mammoth task of translating the Bhagavatam, and he repeatedly urged his disciples, like we heard that lecture where Prabhupada was so enraged. He said, "How will you know? Because you don't read." Right? So he was indicating towards Srimad Bhagavatam. And that's how Srila Prabhupada gave us Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam was his main focus. At the end of Srila Prabhupada's pastime, when devotees approached Srila Prabhupada that you please stay back, then Prabhupada taught a very nice prayer to the devotees. Prabhupada told them, "Please go and pray to Krishna that, my dear Lord, if you wish, then please extend Srila Prabhupada's stay, because he has not yet finished translating the full Bhagavatam." So Prabhupada added this component of Bhagavatam also. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hare Hare. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada